All right. Can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you see me and hear me? Okay.
I can, Miss Woods.
All
Hey,
right.
Crowd Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on our video again today, where we will be hosting another live interview with another great entrepreneur, another great self-starter by the name of Ms Kisha Woods. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more interviews with entrepreneurs in 2022. Miss Woods, thank you for coming on the show today.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. How are you doing today?
Hanging in there. I got to ask you, what do you think about this 11/11/2022?
Woo, I've been manifesting all day. I am big on that as far as energy and just attracting what I'm supposed to receive. And that really comes along with the journey that I've been on. So today is very, very important for me. So I believe being on here too, everything has meaning for me today. So I'm all about it.
Yes,
All about
ma'am.
it.
I'm a big numbers person. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the intuition or what, but I'm like
Mhm.
11 times 2 is 22, and it just happened to be the year 2022. So y'all heard it from Miss Woods. We're gonna hear a little bit more about what she does, but why some of us find dates like this significant or whatever it takes in our life to keep us motivated or to find the elevation for ourselves within. Um, I'm gonna let Miss Woods introduce herself. I want to first ask you, Miss Woods, where are you from, and what hometown values do you hold dearly to you the most, like up until this day?
Well, I am from Peoria, Illinois. I am in the Midwest. We are in the middle of Chicago and St. Louis.
Mm.
And I've pretty much been here majority of my life. So my hometown values is the fact that I love my city through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And every city has it. But as long as I continue to walk in my purpose and do what I do for my city, I'm gonna value all the values I need when it comes to this. I love my city.
And what about those hometown values? Like, what's something if I was to visit Shawtown tomorrow? Um, Everybody around there might make sure I leave with, as far as a motto, a quote, just a hometown value that
Probably Avanti's a gondola. It is a sandwich. Honestly, it's a sandwich that we all grew up on. People that move out of town and they come back, they make sure that they go to Avanti's. It's a gondola, and it's literally just a sub sandwich, but the bread is like so good. And it just intensifies the heck out of that sandwich. It just puts the meat and the cheese and your double meat, something so simple, but yet it's been around probably as long as I can remember. I'm in my, mid 40s, and it's been around, I know, since I was young, real young. So it's definitely something that a lot of us, definitely remember. And we definitely would send you out of here with a couple of sandwiches. People be flying home with them and putting them in their freezer type stuff. So
make sure they keep them one.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you kind of touched on like every city or state or little area, hood, as we might call it, might come with its ups and downs. But we're about to shed light on some of the entrepreneurs that were birthed right out of the heart of Chicago. So I think that's great. The younger generation, like myself, when we hear Chicago, the first thing we might hear about is Old Block and all these rappers that came out of there. And it's been hard lately because a lot of us were fans of some of the rappers that recently were taken down, unfortunately, by violence. And we are all kind of trying to do our part. Everybody might say RIP here and there, but I feel like everybody's definitely starting to wake up to the fact that violence and people's anger is on 10 lately, and not just in Chicago.
I agree. Like I said, we're a couple hours from Chicago, but we've been labeled like the mini Chicago because we have actually been dealing with death like crazy. I had a good friend of mine over 25 years. Her son, she lost her son 2 weeks ago to gun violence. So not only is it hitting the rap culture and community, but it's also hitting a lot of us close to home, as well. And I just feel like that it's being glorified, killing and shooting and being angry and having enemies all the time. I feel like it's being glorified nowadays. And we've got to do what we got to do, to kind of put a stop to that,
I'm not going to be on this subject too long, but King Von, for example, was an old block rapper that came out of Chicago. See, sometimes people just telling me where they're from kind of takes direction of the interview sometimes.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
He was saying, and it was known that in his youth, he was actually a straight A student. He loved school. He had these, bigger aspirations than just a rapper.
Yeah.
But he said where he was from, you were kind of like bullied if you didn't join the game. Certain areas are this, or you almost didn't have protection if all you got is a single mom at home. You know what I mean? Which single moms are everything. I'm not taking that from y'all.
No, don't get me wrong. I mean, but there's truth in that statement. As a woman that, grew up without her father, I used to fall under that stigma of like, oh, I ain't got no daddy. I ain't had no daddy. But, I still was able to adapt the values now. My life now versus my life at the age of 17 to 18 is completely, and I'm talking about completely different. Falling under the stigma of, wanting to have a family. Some people get in gangs because they want that family atmosphere. They ain't thinking about the violent side of things. They thinking about that family side of things. Mm-hmm. And when you want to be loved and treated, right, sometimes that's where they go, and even like you said with King Von being a straight A student, he was bullied and pulled into that, because of the fact that they thought he might have been a square, or they thought that he just, was smart. But a lot of people do that because they don't want to see you grow. And we still see that now in society. A lot of people will bully you in a negative way to try to hold you back from moving forward.
I mean,
in anything in life.
Setbacks of a pandemic, people will they're still in a place of mindset, because we're about to get there, where it's like, I don't want to see anybody really do more than me. And this is not just a cultural thing. This is not just in the Black community. Mm-hmm. If anything, I think it might have even gotten worse, Ms Kisha. Like, we were all in the same boat almost. That's why everybody was approved for stimulus checks and certain resources if they qualified, which just about everybody did, because the pandemic took a toll on us all. But I noticed how it was almost like, I don't know, if things got worse or things got intensified, whatever was already in people. Mm-hmm. We heard about a young lady in some state, y'all can Google this later, the viewers, even you, Miss Woods, was killed by her baby daddy over a stimulus check because he didn't get one. This woman is not here. We're on live today, but she's not here over a stimulus check.
Yeah. I hear a lot of those stories. Unfortunately, those are becoming a lot more common than we want to really, believe. I'm hearing stories about, people just, the whole thing of just killing somebody for something anyway is a problem. Just killing somebody because of a stimulus check, killing somebody because you got caught up cheating, killing somebody because, just those crazy situations are just like, why are we not talking about these conversations on a regular basis? I don't care about the rap game. I don't care about who came out with new music, and I'm just being honest. I don't care about that. I care about why the fact that we are steady brushing these situations under the rug and only certain people are talking about it. And when we do want to bring it out to the forefront, we're shunned, we're talked about, we're put on a bad pedestal of, oh, we don't listen to her, they crazy, hey, you know where I'm going with that. But there's truth in every tale. And the bottom line of it is we got to start having them uncomfortable conversations so we can move forward with some type of resolution, because things ain't just going to get better by themselves. We've got to put in the footwork, the leg work, the head work, all that work to put in, to make some things happen.
And that's why we're about to get a little deeper on this stream. I do believe, just as well as you, I might not have a ministry or a business where we are promoting the elevation of one's mindset, but I do believe what you are doing is very special. Even if when you first started it, you didn't see days like today. Mm-hmm. We know that crime is not new or domestic violence is not new, but we can both agree that it's definitely gotten worse just in the past 2 years.
Absolutely.
I'm here in towns that wasn't used. They haven't had a crime in 10 years, certain neighborhoods or something. Mm-hmm. Now, not only are having crime, but like it's the most unthinkable type of crimes. You know what I mean? And you'll hear them say it on the news. Well, this is usually a pretty quiet block.
Right. They say that quick.
We don't have this in our company, but they heard somebody was scamming the company, somebody been all that type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of spoke on this, but let me ask this question directly. How has your own life transpired since becoming an entrepreneur with purpose?
Well, I actually 3 years ago you would have never told me that I'd be an entrepreneur. I was actually working in corporate America at a job that I was comfortable at. It had been there for about probably 6 years at that point. But COVID kind of sent me into a mind state of I really got to figure things out for myself. What it did, and I know that it's done this with a lot of people, is it's tested our mental by the utmost, So what happened with me is in April of 2020, I had to take a step back from social media at a time when we were uncertain about things, when we was going on lockdown, when we wasn't supposed to see nobody. I had to take a step back and really think about what it is I wanted for myself. There were so many things that I was going through with
What were
habits.
you seeing in social media at that time? More like the China, the COVID? What was it that
Just all
was?
of that, really, just really all of it. But I was actually going through my own mental um well-being. My well-being was not at its peak, I'll say that. Just a lot of things in life overall, just being a people pleaser all these years, putting everybody else's needs ahead of mine. And then when it was time for me, I had nothing for myself. Making sure everybody else was getting ahead, but I wasn't doing that for myself. I lived with the restricted mind of, oh, okay, well, as long as I keep doing for everybody else, I'm gonna get my blessings. I'm gonna get my blessings. And
Uh-oh, don't
and hey,
you
I'm
gonna
gonna speak
trigger
it.
somebody
I'm gonna
because there
speak
might
it.
be truth
I'm
in it.
gonna
Let me
speak
keep.
it. I'm gonna speak it because the thing is, I'm not saying to not help, provide for others, but the thing is, if you're not doing that for yourself, how are you feeling like you're gonna get ahead? I'm not going off of blessings of others. I want to initiate my own blessings. I want to be intentional in my own blessings. And I was coming to a breaking point because I was mad all the time. I was angry about things that I was doing. I was still doing stuff for people, but I was mad about doing stuff for people.
And that was probably that point where you like, this can't be healthy.
Yeah,
Even
it
if I'm
was
not talking to nobody about it, I'm left with nothing every time I give my all.
every time.
Mhm.
Every time, and it just got to the point, and I really will say that COVID kind of was a coincidence at that stage in the game, because I was already mentally frustrated. So that was just the topping, what I'm saying? That was just the icing on the cake for me. And it was like, you know what, I got to get accountable. You've allowed this to go on in your life for all these years, Kisha. You've allowed yourself to be at the bottom of the totem pole of your own life. So now it's time for you to take a stand and say, you know what, I'm about to make that change. And in April of 2020, that's exactly what I did. I detoxed from social media for 30 days and I went into a complete journaling transformation. I wrote down everything that I was becoming accountable for in my life. I started putting in policies, thinking about policies, writing policies, creating policies of transformation for myself. And in that 30 days of transformation, that's when I decided that I wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Let's get a little more transparent,
Yes.
because some of us, let's just say, I can't call every reason for everybody, but they might be more encouraged or led to go get a life coach, a spiritual coach, a therapist, some type of mentor. But we know at the height of a pandemic, we were all really barely trying to keep our bills afloat. I mean, because let's be honest, a life coach and all that stuff is still going to be
A cost, of course.
it's an investment,
It is an investment.
and that's
Um,
just for you.
right.
I heard that teenage kids were stressed, committing suicide and things like this,
Oh,
over
still.
having to wear a mask, and we don't look at enough that the stress we feel. They'll tell you that when the baby in the womb, but even when those kids are here, they feel what we feel.
Oh, they definitely do.
If
They
that's not
definitely
a
do.
reason to also transpire or make you think about, you know what I mean, your mental health,
I
because I
do.
think we all love our kids.
We do.
Of our nieces.
The thing about it is we've got to become accountable and understand that sometimes the way that we might have raised our children, the things that we might have done to our children and what our children experienced while being raised by us might not have always been what was best. Now, I'm not taking away from nobody raising children, because I went from a mother of one to a mother of three overnight because my sister passed away from heart failure. And I took her two boys without hesitation, you know. So I am not saying that don't be ashamed of how you did it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was the 100% best way. We are seeing changes going on within society, within generational gaps. The generational baby boomers aren't doing what Gen Z is doing, and the clashes are coming in because nobody wants to say, you know what, let's have a conversation about why they're clashing. You know, you just want to say, hey, do it this way because this is the way I did it. Or no, I'm going to do it this way because I don't want to do it that way. And there's just an automatic clash. There needs to be a conversation so there could be a resolution and a compromise, because contrary, whatever people believe or not, we are no longer living in the days of old. And I believe that. And once I started believing that for myself, then I was able to implement my values wholeheartedly and live my life unapologetically, because I know I don't appeal to everybody. I know everybody don't like what I speak. I know everybody don't like how I talk, but guess what, it's me. You know, I'm speaking from a place of healing now instead of a place of havoc. And so many people are used to living in habit that when you coming from a healing place, they think that you down talking them or, you know, being mean or trying to. No, I'm trying to listen. I want to compromise, but we've got to learn how to do some compromise. And there's too many people that egos is too damn big and they just don't want to let it down. They don't want to let some of that air out so we can get some resolution.
And I'm sure, Miss Woods, after knowing the feeling of healing, why wouldn't a fully healed person want that? Like naturally desire that for others.
Absolutely.
That's why we're going to talk about your journey a little more. What sparked your interest in elevated mindsets? Who is your main target audience? I know it's kind of like a question because I'm sure you don't just target a specific.
I do actually.
Okay.
I work with women. I work with women, probably more specifically women of color, because I know that we struggle. We have been built to carry that strong woman stigma, as I carried for so many years. And I work with us to help us break that barrier. I help us remove the negative thoughts, the self-sabotaging thoughts, the thoughts of I got to put everybody's needs ahead of my own. And I help us replace that with unapologetic inner confidence, because once you are throwing that inner confidence out, everything else is going to fall into line. You're going to be able to set those boundaries with everybody else. You're going to be able to live your life with less stress because you are setting positive routines for yourself. So yeah, I work with us women because I feel like that we need the restructure, the realignment, the, you know, refocusing on what it is that we truly want for ourselves. And that's what I pretty much speak on with upgraded mindsets. It's upgrading your way of thinking. It's reconditioning how you think, what you think about. And it's important for me to talk to us women, and I've helped dozens of us, you know, accomplish that so far, and I'm proud of that.
If you guys can see on the bottom left-hand screen, whether you're on live with us now or you check out this stream later, this is going to be the official website for Upgraded Mindsets, and where you can find more ways to support Ms Kisha Woods along with other Upgraded Mindsets products. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those products. Would you agree that most are only elevated mindset away from fulfilling their wildest dreams?
I do, because our mind is where everything begins. So once you start telling your mind that you are going to achieve something, then you are going to start attracting what it takes to achieve those things. A lot of us, we sit in the negative thoughts and think about we can't do it because of this, or we deflect, or we blame.
And I'm hiding for a second.
No, you good.
To the kids.
You know, we sit up here and, you know, put ourselves in a position of negativity, when in all actuality, we need to be speaking what it is that we want in our life on a constant and continual basis. Our minds default to negative. I don't know if everybody noticed, but a fun fact, we think up to 50,000 thoughts a day, right? And out of those 50,000 thoughts, 70 to 80% of those thoughts are negative thoughts because you are defaulting. You're an autopilot. Your autopilot is automatically going to push you to the negative because that's all we see. You know how you get on social media first thing in the morning, and you might see the first thing you see is somebody might have passed away, or you seen, you know, something happening across the country, some type of negative thing, and that's putting that in your mind. So now your mind is got that negative image in its head. It's got the negative, you know, words that you read from the article, and that's setting the tone for your entire day. You know what I'm saying? So you've got to be intentional in waking up. I do this and I teach my clients to do the same. The first 30 minutes of your day is for you. You setting your intentions for the day. Set positive words, affirm, meditate, do whatever it is you got to do to put your shield on of positive so you can make sure that you have a positive filled day. And having a positive filled day is going to give you intention to make sure that you are following through with what it is that you're supposed to do. But you've got to make that happen. It's not just going to default. And a lot of people think that we just default to positive, and we don't.
Normalizing those type of habits, because once we can get it, even as women women of color, even minority women, other ethnicities, something might be new to us, and then we get on that journey of healing, but we can't wait till our kids are 16, 17 and expect them to understand. Why not instill that as early? I even had that question here for you, like, how young would you say is early enough to begin training one's mindset?
Hey, ASAP. We see nowadays these kids is learning phones before the age of 1. You know what I'm saying? I literally seen a 10-month-old baby that had somebody's phone and they was scrolling that phone. Like
or
they
tablets.
You know, because it's what they see. They are picking up on what it is that they see. So if they see that's what you're doing, they picking that up. So therefore, hey, it might be certain things that they might be too young to understand. But what we definitely see nowadays is these babies is definitely, they've been here before. As you know, our older people used to say they've been here before. You know, but again, it just goes down to the adapting that we see that these kids are coming out with the capabilities to learn at a young age. So I think as soon as possible.
Yes, ma'am. I checked out that website already. And I, if I'm not mistaken, I saw 4 published ebooks, and I wanted to know firsthand, because we celebrate self-published authors and self-publishers here at the Crown Content Publications family. Did you self-publish those works? It doesn't take from it if you didn't, because even
no, I did.
When they go through those publishing houses, it's still an investment. It's still a lot of work. Absolutely. But can you talk to us a little bit about what your publishing journey might have looked like or entailed?
Well, those ebooks are actually probably the simpler things. I actually am in the process of self-publishing my first full book, which is From Habit to Healing, 30 Days of Reconditioning, which is actually coming from my journal from the story I told you about in April of 2020. So I'm actually publishing that full 30-day journal. But those ebooks are more of tutorials and guides and tools for us to help ourselves get out of the negative mindsets. There's actually a course that actually see the key to amplify your clarity, which is actually a course that actually you sign up with, and you are pacing yourself through establishing complete clarity about yourself, your business, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. It actually has like exercises to help you practice gratitude. It's got like 15 questions that are going to make you break things down for yourself so deep. You ain't even gonna be like, you're gonna be like, woo, wee. But that is the purpose. That's the purpose. It's time for us to really get clear on what it is that we want to do for ourselves, short term, long term, especially as an entrepreneur. I talk to so many of us because I work with women entrepreneurs. I work with personal mindset and business mindset. In order to establish and grow your business, you have to make sure your personal clarity is clear. And that's why I combine both of those together. What I found was a lot of us women will want to start businesses, but our personal lives are in complete utter chaos.
All I could do is shake my head. I'm a little familiar.
Hey, you
Hey,
know,
I think you all should listen to Miss Woods. Keep going, Miss Woods.
hey, no problem. But you know, and I never want to take the drive away from anybody, but I just want us to understand that if we are really wanting to excel things, because anybody can start a business, right? You know, during the pandemic, especially in the beginning, we seen so many people start businesses. We seen so many people, you know, come up, and man, I tell you, I seen some dope ass stuff, you know, just some stuff that you like, oh my God, you could be the next, you know, this, you could be the next artist, the next this. But because that personal side of things was still amok and running in havoc, they weren't able to excel their business. You know, they allowed the personal side of their lives to shut their business down. So that's why I want us to establish our personal clarity first, because our personal clarity is going to shift us into the entrepreneurial growth, not the establish, because anybody can start it. But you've got to want to establish it. You've got to want to know where you're going in 6 months. You got to want to know where you're forecasted for in 5 years. You know, those are the conversations that a lot of entrepreneurs don't want to have. They treat it like a hustle, and it's time to incorporate the corporate mindset into the hustling mindset. Mm-hmm. So I just, you know, those ebooks that you see on there are designed to help you with that. The key to amplify your clarity is a course, but the rest of those are guides to, you know, help us establish what it is that we want on a long-term basis.
I hope you guys are listening to Miss Woods. She said so much that I just want to but you know, I've never been against self-made life coaches, entrepreneurial coaches. I'm not against that. A lot of my followers even know I'm in school right now for business because I want to help. But you said a whole nother side that I feel like not even the coaches dig into enough. It's more just like, oh, follow your dream. What is it that you want to do? Where are you going to get these investments? They will tell you the side. Let me say consultants and business coaches and things like this, so people don't get confused. More like 10 steps to make 6 figures this year.
Yeah.
But where in that are you saying get your personal life? You know, let's do these mental health checks. Are you even in a place healthily to handle the amount or level of work that you, I say it often, everybody want to be a boss, right? Yeah. And they think I'm being funny. A boss, I'm so humble. I listen to my children sometimes. Now, they're not the boss of the house. That's not what
Right, I got you.
We can learn things from things that we don't expect all the time, right? Absolutely. So like, if I don't think our business coach is going to tell us, oh, go into your first self-made business humble.
Yeah.
Stuff matters. Go make sure that your mind frame and that your level of strength and things like that, because entrepreneurship can be stressful. I'm saying just the journey, because you're going to have goals for you're going to have steps to reach those goals for any, you know what I mean, dream that you have. And a lot of people get to step 3, like you were saying, and it's like, is this what I really want?
Yeah.
We'll get to step 5 of those 12 and like, I give up.
Yeah.
I see it a lot with our people, not just women, but
and you're right.
Change to grow. It's about that dollar. It's about that status. And with social media out here,
yeah, baby,
it's about impressing them.
Yeah,
you know, and
a lot of people need to realize, and I'm gonna definitely say this to your listeners, you've got to put the purpose first. I'm definitely not saying not to get your money, because hey, I'm definitely gonna get my money. Mm-hmm. However,
still here. Keep going.
Purpose has to come first. If your purpose is to make money, then you're really not going to, if you have something that you're trying to do, right? If you have something that you've been wanting to do and you come out with that business, you've got to make sure that the purpose is there. You can't just say, oh, I'm finna do this business. Okay, well, why are you finna do this business? What's the meaning behind you starting this business? There has to be meaning. There has to be purpose. And if there's not, it's not going to work. You know, hey, anybody, like I said, anybody can start a business, but you have to have what it takes to maintain that business, and maintaining that business requires you to keep your purpose on what it is that you want. Now, people shift all the time. I started off as just a standard life coach, just talking to people about their personal things. But what I was attracting was entrepreneur women.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, you know what? Because I have been through these experiences myself, I'm now going to come back and show them, because I don't tell nobody I'm going to help you make six figures. I'm a real coach. And I ain't taking away from those, but I'm just that real one that's going to be like, hey, we're going to get here. You might not profit in the first 6 months of your business. You probably won't, because you've invested.
Like, tell me the truth.
I'm telling the
And
truth.
we wondering why people, because that will affect your mental too.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just sitting around feeling like a failure. It's not that you're a failure. You just weren't prepared.
That part.
From A to Z. Now that's why I see that a business consultant or people like that can help you maybe get that plan together. But what Ms. Woods is trying to share more with us, y'all, is that mindset is going to take you further than anything else. How many rappers, and we seeing it now, successful people, all their business coming out about their marriage now, or
and they talking about their mental well-being, and their mental well-being is told the hell up.
Mm-hmm. But like, all this money. Well, we talked about the people that might not have it to even invest in this type of help for themselves.
Yeah.
But that's why we're going to talk more about books too, because they know I'm going to promote authorship and books all day long. But it's another reason I feel like books are important, because so many messages are in, depending on what book you're reading.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
One book could change your whole life. Can you agree?
I do agree.
One book, and because most authors come from a place, even if it's like some type of fantasy book, or every movie we watch, that was somebody's vision that came from somewhere. You know what I mean? Even if it's not a true story, somewhere they were motivated, you know what I mean, to write that script, to write that book. Now we're talking to an author today, guys, though, that has not only self-published books as a self-starter, but her books has that keyword we've been talking about this whole segment, that purpose behind them. What's the purpose that you would say? I was trying to put From Havoc to Healing up here. Can we find that on Amazon Kindle?
No, it's not out yet. It's in the process of, it ain't ready yet, but it will be. It's coming on all them. No, it's not published yet. But no, it's not published yet. But hey, I appreciate that though. Mm-hmm. But I'll give y'all a little insight, because basically it's just my 30 days of journaling how I felt about everything in my life. What type of accountability that I had to give myself, because that's one thing that a lot of us don't want to do. We don't want to hold ourselves accountable for the things that we have allowed. And I'm going to say that again, the things that we have allowed in our lives. And that is, it's full of that. It's full of the things, just, what tips I was using, when I started using certain tools and procedures and things like that. It's just full of all of those insights, and just full of vulnerability from me. I've always been a hardcore person. I was a hard girl. I couldn't cry in front of nobody, but that book, once it comes out, is going to show you so much vulnerability on my behalf, that people are just going to be like, wow, I never knew that you were even, going through any of that. So I was a master of suppressing my emotions, and that book right there is going to bring all of those emotions.
Master. We need to hear it though. In 2022, right now.
Absolutely. So 2023, if you follow, subscribe to the Upgraded Mindset.life website, you'll definitely be able to get updates on anything. I also blog over there. So I am a daily author. I try to blog at least once a week. I have my own podcast, y'all. I pretty much get this mouth out on the regular. So, that book is an added bonus to the already building platform that I have to just bring some empowering real talk. And that's what my podcast is called, the Empowering Real Talk Podcast.
I was going to ask, can we find the link on the website? But I don't mind sharing it in the comments.
Nope. Yep, it is. Everything you'll be able to find, everything on the website, the podcast, the YouTube channel, everything, the blogs, everything else that I got going on. I have an upcoming workshop that I'm actually doing for free Sunday. It's called 4 strategies to help you strengthen your sense of self. And you can also sign up for that on the website. It is for ladies. It's free via Zoom. You register on the free link and come on over from 2 to 4 p.m. Central Time. We're going to definitely dig into some things. So
thank you for definitely sharing that information because I will talk your ears off all night.
Hey, I'm a talker too, so I'm with it.
That's why I said, let me become a writer or something, a podcast, put this in a positive place. And guys, also now like these workshops, because we got the holidays coming up. We might want to gift people a certain way. Does that make sense?
I do.
Maybe pay for a class or a seminar for somebody.
Yep.
You guys, that website is down here, www.upgradedmindsets.life.
I will definitely tell you if it's something that you are wanting to give to somebody to help them learn more about themselves, then I definitely recommend getting them the key to amplify your clarity. Right now, that it is a self-paced course. I do offer one-on-one coaching, but I do also do group settings as well. I have my Empower the Brand package, which is more for the women entrepreneurs that want help with, establishing themselves personally and professionally, getting themselves built, doing some marketing for them, helping them with even logos. I have another business here at my office, which is UPM Suites. And it's 3 of us women of color that actually work collectively to ensure that the process goes smoothly, from like LLCs to, any type of other paperwork that's needed, T-shirts. We actually do journals, planners, motivational stickers, labels. We do all of that here locally in my office. So, but I also provide that because I have clients in seven states right now. So, it's definitely a blessing for me. But I just want us to understand that, in order for us to grow and excel, we need a team. We need a team. And I'm not saying to get your pockets broke, because hey, I don't break nobody's pockets, but in order for us to truly excel at things, we have to be ready to accept our strengths, our weaknesses, and understand, hey, I don't like this part, so I need help with this, and I'm going to reach out and get that help. If you want to grow as an entrepreneur, that is a requirement. That is a mandatory feature that you need to do. Otherwise, you're going to stay on that hamster wheel and you're going to think you're moving, but you're not. Yeah.
I thank you for touching on that, and that we don't have to, I don't know if y'all heard Ms. Woods, but we don't necessarily have to be there in Chicago to get this assistance with our entrepreneurship endeavors. If you need a team or help, like she's saying, because it's something I was talking to a lady, I don't know if she gonna see this stream later, but we talked about it. She was the one, I'm not gonna talk your ears off, I promise. About 8 months ago, we talked so much on the phone. She said, had you ever thought about starting a podcast? We've only been here since February 22 on YouTube, and then I'm over there on iHeartRadio and some other platforms. I had never thought about it. And I told her this morning, I said, I never forgot what you encouraged me to do. It was like later, because she's going through some different things too, and life is taking her different ways. And she's like, I said, but it would have helped, because I'm kind of back and forth between corporate jobs and working my business too. That's why that mindset got to be made up. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes just venting to somebody about the workload that was in itself in single motherism and how I would be more happy. I feel like I would be more fulfilled if I could do what I love to do full time, which is what and speak my mind or whatever. And I said, if I would have been at that job and had an assistant it's funny how full circle things come back around, because I'm even getting to learn more about upgraded mindsets today. And we do have a lot of women subscribers. We don't have a million of them, but most of them are women.
You feel me?
But it's nothing wrong with reaching out. You never know who's willing. I said, of course, you wouldn't get paid unless we actually get this client or that client. This type of business works a little different. Yeah. But it's something she was willing and considering to do. But closed mouths don't get fed. We have people in our own communities who do understand. Everybody's not out to get you. They don't, some people do want to see you grow.
Absolutely.
We just got to get our trust right too, sis. I think you can agree, like, some of our trust get messed up out here, coming from where we come from too. You know what you want, but you don't even know what to trust no more. We'll talk more off the
and the thing about that is we've got to be ready to get uncomfortable with finding our tribe, right? Because I agree with you 100%. We have that sense of long-term loyalty and, hanging with and being with people that we've been around for a long time. And, if they don't see your vision like you see your vision, they can be a distraction. And not saying that you got to cut them off and not deal with them no more, but you've got to find like-minded people that are wanting more than you. That's one thing that I had to learn. I got to find like-minded that wanted more than me, because that's going to keep me motivated. That's going to keep me inspired. That's going to keep me focused on what it is that I want short-term and long-term. So it's really just a matter of finding a tribe that, maybe like a fellow, like podcasting community. I've found I have fellow coaches that I literally have been meeting with every Tuesday for over a year now. And when I tell you they the dopest community ever to me, and it's only like 5 of us, we meet every week. And I swear to you, they have been such an instrumental part of my growth, because I can speak to them without judgment. I can, throw ideas at them and not worry about them trying to take it over and not give credit, stuff like that. And that's some of the things that I know as entrepreneurs, we face.
Empower and Talk podcast host y'all are hearing from right here too. She's also going to be bringing us more books in the near future. Make sure y'all are following that website, www.upgradedmindsets.life. I'd like to actually meet people in these stages too, Miss Woods. Like, I'm so happy to meet you. You don't understand.
I'm glad that I'm here.
I want to subscribe to that podcast. So there's going to be a link on the website.
Yep. So what you'll do is you'll go, you can actually either see it at the top. It might say podcast, but if you scroll down, it'll say, listen to the podcast. It'll be like in a purple dot. Mm-hmm. It's Empowering Real Talk podcast.
And we're definitely going to stay connected off of here too, because I'd love
absolutely.
Come listen to what y'all doing too, and get in on some conversations over there, because it's so much going on when it comes to women. I don't know. I feel like we're being blamed for everything. We're not getting enough recognition of what we are trying to do too, and that has to start in our village first.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, this is where y'all messing up in relationships. This where y'all not perfect at. I know you see it too sometimes.
Hey, and I'm one thing about me is I'm gonna hold y'all accountable. That's one thing. I work with us women. I rock with us women. But one thing that is real about me is I hold us accountable. I do not allow you to deflect on anything. Mm-hmm. If you are caught, hitting me up and saying, "Oh, this person did this. This person did this." Okay, but why did they do this? What actions did you play? Did you allow it? Is this the third time that has happened? Like, we're gonna have those conversations, because those are the uncomfortable conversations we need to have, so it don't happen the fourth time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love working with us women, and I rock with us to the end. But baby, I definitely hold us accountable.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm not going to keep you on here all day, Miss Woods.
Oh, you're good.
Shout out that podcast again, guys. Empower and Talk podcast. You can find the link to where you can subscribe to her podcast show, Ms Kisha Woods, when you visit her website. Simply put, www.upgradedmindsets.life. Yep. And learn more about her mission to help us in the public and in our communities to just simply upgrade our mindsets. We're not putting anybody down when we say that. I don't think she is either.
Our journeys are necessary. If you take offense to anything that I said today, then it's time for you to sit down and have a serious self-reflection and just tell yourself, you know what? It's time for me to do better, think better, live better. The power lies right here. Your mind is where everything begins. Every choice, every decision, everything that you make. Y'all can follow me also too on social media. I'm on all platforms at Coach KAYWDS. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn under Kisha Woods. Hey, I'm definitely out here. You can find me. I am not hard to find. You can Google me, baby. Just that simple.
Yes, ma'am. They can Google you too?
They can Google me, baby.
Kisha Woods, y'all. Don't wait till the mission has grown even bigger. What she's doing is just following in the footsteps of her vision. That's what we're talking about today. I see a lot of us doing much bigger things than where we are now.
Our
But
journeys are necessary. And shout out to you for even, creating this platform. I'm gonna go on coach mode real quick and just tell you like how proud I am of you. You know what I'm saying, for listening and getting some, feedback on something and following through with what it is that you want to do. I will give you a quick coach suggestion. If it's something that your purpose is full time and wanting to do that, then start planning your exit strategy, baby. Give yourself a goal, set yourself a time frame, and start doing what it is to make it happen. Small things lead to big things. I know a lot of times,
like not 100% appreciated until they think you might have the slightest thought of. It's not even resigning with a lot of companies. If they hear a little bit, you got a channel somewhere, or you might have your own business, right? I just been noticing. We'll save those type of topics for a different podcast, but
yeah, because definitely bring me back, because I'll be willing to tell you all about that, because that's kind of what happened to me. But yeah, we'll talk about that another time. I would love to come back and chat with you more. I would definitely love to come back. Absolutely.
I'm finna try to catch this grocery store, Miss Woods, because now it get dark at 5 o'clock.
I know.
Like, what is going on out here?
Yes, but thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I will be back anytime. Just say the word.
If you want to go back and leave any social media tags, because I'm going to, if I get your permission, it'll be recorded, but
Absolutely.
on the YouTube comments, so people can go and find you.
Yeah,
okay?
I will. I'll shoot that to you.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me. Bye, you guys.
Bye, y'all.